Here, welcome to week one of the NFL 2005 NFL season. We got a full slate of games, and you're in the right place for all the last minute fantasy football advice that you need. From injury updates to start sit calls, we're live to get your lineup right. Get ready. The countdown is on, baby. Let's go.
Hey, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I don't follow no script. I make my own lane. Got a spreadsheet mind and a red rat's brain. Dynasty beast got that tape in my veins. While they drafting by names, I'm exposing their game. No cap. We study the craft like film room rats. Gyms in the fourth while they stuck in the past. It's levels to the dynasty keep or flex. From rookies to pros, we demanding respect. That's real. And I ain't never need clout for my clout to show. Just a mic I take and a team I grow. This ain't just picks, it's principle G. It's fourth in fantasy where you build your legacy. We 10 toes down, yeah, we stand.
And we are back, baby. Today marks season two of Fourth in Fantasy. Week one of the 2025 NFL season is almost under the way. We have less than an hour from the 1 p.m. kickoffs. What does that mean? That means we're ready to fuck shit up this NFL season. How we feeling, Rocco?
Oh man, I feel great, man. This is what we've been waiting like 6 months for, man. We're back into season two,
Yo,
coming
yo.
bigger, better, and badder than ever. And let's fucking go. Let's win. Let's win. Let's win some of these.
Let's win some of those, baby. And you already know how we coming, man. Once again, thank you for all that's tuned in, that taps in with us. You know, we have a free Discord. Share, like, subscribe. All the support that goes into this is really appreciated. But let's get into the nitty gritty, man. And also, hold on. It wouldn't be a fourth and fantasy episode if we didn't say we're your fantasy playbook to more championship wins. And Rocco, where are we the home of?
We are a fantasy football
Let's
podcast
go.
for Dynasty Sickos
Let's
by
go.
Dynasty Sickos. Week one, let's fucking go.
Let's fucking go. God damn it. I've been waiting all NFL season, all off season for this shit. Now, let's talk about some injuries and key injuries as of today. I know there was a lot of hoopla the last few days with CMC coming out on the injury report, and I hate to hear it, a calf injury at that. But we just heard he is a full go today. Rocco, how are you feeling about CMC, man?
Man, anytime you hear injury shit, it's like it takes you back to game one last year, which, if y'all don't remember, was on a Monday night. So a lot of people got fucked by that one because it happened right before kickoff. So A, if you weren't paying attention, B, if you didn't have open waivers, and C, if you didn't have a backup plan, you were fucked. I basically lost the game. I was down like 3 points and I had CMC going. Fucking lost that game because I had nobody to throw in there. I think I put Mike Williams in. So, yeah, he got a big fat zero coming off an ACL and subsequently retired this year. So, yeah, it wasn't pretty. It was a bad situation, but fuck it.
We roll, baby.
I fucking ball. And I'm going to ride with fucking CMC till his wheels fall off, which his wheels is his calves. Let's go. CMC getting 20 today.
And bad news for all the Xavier Worthy owners out there. It has come out that he's going to be missing some time with a dislocated shoulder after taking a not even self-inflicted, friendly fire from his boy Travis Kelsey.
You heard what they said?
Because of Taylor Swift, right?
Yeah. Travis Kelsey heard that. Saw Xavier Worthy talking to Swift, so he had to take him out. He
Got to
said
get him out of there.
he said Worthy getting more shine than me right now. They think he the number one. I'm the fucking number one around here.
Yeah, he wasn't playing that shit. Got him up and out of there. And it does wonders for me because I actually was playing somebody week one who has Xavier Worthy. I know he's upset because he got a good zero ball from Mr. Worthy, and that's not even his fault. And I feel bad for Xavier because I feel like not everybody, but people were really hoping that he was going to take a year or two jump, see what he can do. With Jalen Royals already hurt, with Rasheed Rice being suspended, he was somebody youthful that you was hoping was going to, come up. Now in that game, Hollywood Brown showed up. Juju had a couple catches. Shit, even Tyquan Thornton somehow had a few catches in there. But I'm not feeling too great about that Kansas City offense going forward, just
Mhm.
because they basically lost all their speed, most of their speed on that offense. And that was my main gripe about that offense last year, that it was slow and it was getting old. Travis Kelsey is just don't get me, and that's no disrespect to Travis Kelsey. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Shout out to him. He's getting old. Obviously, father time waits for nobody. It happens, right? And then who else? Like Tyquan Thornton, he's going to try to, do what he can. And then, I mean, it depends on how you feel about Juju. I don't feel great about Juju. He had a couple cool catches, but that Kansas City offense, I said this in our Discord when I saw Worthy go down. They could be a dark horse to trade for Tyreek Hill if things don't go as great as they want to. I could see them picking up Tyreek Hill somewhere down the line. But looking at some other injuries, it looks like.
Um,
Oh, go ahead, my boy Rocco.
no, I was just gonna say, I think they have speed, but it's not like good speed. Like you
Like
got
a
Hollywood Brown who's fast, you got Tyquan Thornton who's fast, but
yeah.
you know Hollywood is basically a walking injury
Mm-hmm.
waiting to happen, and Tyquan Thornton is a situational deep threat. So I feel like even when they had Worthy, like we said in the last podcast, they got a lot of guys that you know profile as situational deep threats.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if it's not Kelsey, who are they gonna count on to get a first down when they need one? And it's crazy because like at this point, Juju Smith is that guy. So I'm picking up Juju Smith in certain places because believe it or not, he's still I think like 29 or 30. It seems like he's been around forever, but he's like the only guy that a wide receiver that can run a short route and get open at the sticks on a consistent basis. And even him, I mean, you know, when Juju Smith is that guy, you got to worry big time about that offense. Like I said in last week's podcast, I mean, Mahomes was still Mahomes. He was out there doing amazing stuff, and like not too many people were going to be able to score points like he did with what he had available to him in that game in Brazil. And shout out to him, he looked great, at times. But until he gets some actual non Mickey Mouse weapons, that team is in trouble offensively.
This man said non-Mickey Mouse weapons. I can
Not
only
really.
imagine a football player if they end up watching our content, but like he called me Mickey Mouse play. I don't know how to feel about that.
Hey,
Rocco,
if
don't
you don't want
don't.
to be a Mickey Mouse player, then you need to stop doing Mickey Mouse plays.
Hey, listen, Rocco, don't let some of these players catch your ass. And Derek Carr gonna catch you one day in these streets, man.
That's okay. He can knock me out, man. He got a lot of money.
He said, "I'll do it."
Knock me out, Derek Carr. If you could hit me, you broke ass.
Now, let's look at some other guys. And this one actually does hurt my feelings a little bit because I've been a fan of his since he was with since he's been in the NFL. He started with the Cardinals, went over to the Jaguars, then now he's with the Texans. Christian Kirk is out with a hammy. I hate to see that. Jalen Wright is out. Ollie Gordon is getting the RB2, I believe, nod there. And honestly, I feel like I can't wait to see what he can do. I know they're gonna use the hell out of A Chain, right? He is the guy. But what I'm
Mhm.
looking from Ollie is just to be a solid handcuff. Don't go when you go in there, don't mess up the game, don't fumble. Let's see what you can do. You're running behind the first team offensive line. Let's see if he can show off that he was the 2023 Walker Award winner. You know what I mean? How are you feeling about Ollie Gordon? And are you having him in your starting lineups where you're looking a little skimp and you're starting?
Yeah, I have him starting in places. I mean, I'm in 30 leagues, so of course he's going to be starting in places. I got a lot of Ollie Gordon because I was just smashing him in third. Sometimes he made it even to the fourth round. Um, but yeah, you know, I mean, my thought process is fucking Jalen Wright sucks. Um, and he's the only guy that profiles as that kind of first and second down grinder. So, and this is not to take anything away from A Chain. A Chain's going to get his moments, his plays. He's going to get some explosives, but I think he's better utilized if he gets his 15 touches. Use him in explosive plays. Use him more in the passing game, which they started showing last year. Get him in space, so he could take it to the house. Don't just slam him up the middle, two times, in first and second down. That's a good way to get your Maserati all fucked up. You want to hit home run plays with that guy. So I feel like Ollie Gordon was brought in. Jalen Wright was brought in that last year, I feel, to be that guy. He just didn't take that mantle. He wasn't that guy. So I think Ollie Gordon was a play to, the same thought process they had with Jalen Wright, and I think that you'll see him get quite a bit of plays. First and second down. You can see him get maybe 10 to 15 carries, and take that punishment, those punishing type of runs, where you can save A Chain for the explosives.
I agree with you right there, my G. Where you want to keep A Chain fresh, right? That's where you get your most explosive plays from him. That's where you feel like you get your ROI. If you don't know what ROI is, return on investment, and you want him to stay healthy. All right, A Chain is he's a really good bat, but you want to keep him fresh. You don't want to get him hurt, and Ollie Gordon has that size to be able to sustain A Chain for the long term of the year. Now we just got to see how he produces, right? We got to see how he comes together. We have to see how he potentially modes with the rest of that offense. We got to see what Tyreek Hill does. We got to see if Tua can even stay healthy. Because if Tua goes down, everything else is some shit. I don't give a fuck what anything is. You know? Tua go down. Everybody on the goddamn Miami offense is damn near off limits for me going forward.
Yeah, Tua makes that whole thing go. So if Tua's out, just burn that whole thing down. Tua goes out, Mike McDaniels is getting fired. And I think they immediately go into tank mode. They're going to go for a Nussmeier. They're going to be going for, Sellers if he comes out, maybe a Cade Klubnik. There's several guys that they can, tank for. So, first sign of distress. And this thing could be like a house of cards because, you remove the head of the snake too. And it's for a lot of teams, but especially for this team, he makes that offense go. And without him, I don't trust anybody in that room.
I'm right there with you, my G. Now, let's talk about these starting sits. And there's a few guys I was going through when you're in 40 plus, 50 plus leagues. Hell, sorry, excuse me. Hell, even 20 plus leagues. You have to set time aside to set your lineups because if you try to do, especially with us going right before kickoffs, which we're thinking might change going forward, you might see us on your early mornings going forward.
Breakfast Club.
Breakfast Club time. So if you're an early bird, come tap in with us.
If
But
y'all into to getting your shit in early, hit us up.
hit us up. And so when I'm looking at a few of these guys, and like I said, when you're in many, many leagues, you have to set some time aside to set up your lineup. Couple start sits I'm potentially looking at. If I knew the damn Cowboys Eagles game was going to go like it was, I probably would have sat Dak ass down. That probably fucked me in a lot of leagues. I'm not even going to lie. He pretty much set me back. 7 points is not sexy for everybody, and it's even when it doesn't matter if it's a 4 point or a 6 point lead because motherfucker didn't throw no touchdowns and one was dropped. So shit hurt my soul. But looking at the quarterbacks wise, I think Smash starts for today. I think you can always go with Josh Allen. If you have Josh Allen, always start him. I think that's damn near at this point a given.
Start
Lamar
your
Jackson
nuts.
against the Buffalo Bills, great. Jaden Daniels might be my number one top because he's going against the New York Giants. I'm not going to say it's always a new year, so they could be something different. We got to see what they, how the Giants defense looks like. But hell, I want Jaden Denton the first week. Yeah, Jaden Denton. If you got Jaden Denton on your starting lineup right now, you feeling good. Joe Burrow against the Cleveland. Actually, damn. Now that I'm looking at it, Joe Burrow might actually have to be my number one because he's going against the Cleveland Browns, and I know they have a decent defense, right? Bo Nix against the Tennessee Titans and Baker Mayfield against the Atlanta Falcons. How do you feel like with these guys? Like, who are you in your lineups, starting, sitting? Who do you like most?
Yeah, I like all those guys. We play super flex, so I feel like all of those are good starts. Um, so I like all of those guys. I'm intrigued with Justin Fields in week one. He's a he's a guy going against his former team. I'm curious to see what he can do. Um, and it goes both ways because Justin Fields knows kind of what
Yeah,
what the Steelers want to do, but the Steelers also know him really well as well. So that's going to be an interesting kind of chess match. And I just saw that Alan Lazard's out, so whoo, that team that team don't got shit for that team don't got shit for wide outside of Garrett Wilson. So Garrett Wilson should be feasting in that one. Um, Crispy likes Atlanta defense.
no, he doesn't. He said the Atlanta D should be a feast, so he thinks Baker Mayfield is going to
Baker
throw
Mayfield,
all.
okay.
He's going to throw all over them boys. What do you think about that, Rocco?
Yeah, I mean, unless those recently drafted defensive ends, come out ready to play, um, then
Yeah,
yeah.
Rocco.
I mean, outside of those new defensive ends, and they got a new safety who's interesting in Malachi Starks. I would be looking at him in IDP leagues. If those guys don't come out hot out the gates, I mean, it's gonna be fireworks in that game, and that's what we were looking for. Shout out also to Kyler Murray, who should have a big game against the cratering New Orleans
New
defense.
Orleans Saints today. Yo,
Yeah,
yo,
I
yo.
have no faith in my defense. We just out of last preseason game, we dropped our second round defensive end. I want to say. So the Saints just keep continue to waste picks over and over again, and it's led to a really medium team in the starting lineup and no quality depth anywhere, basically at any position. So, um, I'm gonna watch that game and hope to be pleasantly surprised, but it feels like impending doom at this point.
Yeah, I hear you. And I wouldn't throw in the grand scheme of things going against the New Orleans Saints. You could say that Kyler would could be a smash start, but I will throw Kyler more into that. He has QB1 upside this week against the New Orleans Saints just because of who he's going against. Would you agree with that one? QB1 upside.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like he should have a good game. The only thing that could derail, derail him is just the game flow. Because if the Saints can't score against Arizona's defense, and Arizona gets a couple touchdowns early, and it just looks ugly for the Saints offense, which it very well could. I don't know what to expect from our offense, to be honest with you.
Hmm.
And that's the only thing that could hurt him. But I'm starting him confidently where I have him. But that is the worry about that matchup, is that it just becomes a slog with the Saints not being able to do much of anything.
Yeah, I think when I'm looking at Kyler Murray, and if you've seen our other episodes, he was a candidate of mine. Of I'm out of him in 2025, and if things don't look good against the Saints, if him and Marvin Harrison don't look like they have chemistry against the fucking Saints, I might just lose it. I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I'm gonna be crashing out the whole game, but Other guys I would throw into that QB1 upside. I feel like you got Trevor Lawrence. He's going against the Carolina Panthers. I want to see Golden Boy and with our new guys,
Mhm.
with our new guy Travis Hunter, and then with the one of our foundational pieces, Brian Thomas, and then you got Jared Goff against the Packers. I think you can definitely throw him in there. Brock Purdy. Some people would have him with QB1 upside. I'm not. I'm not because once again, I'm not going to shit on the Seahawks defense. I feel like it depends on when they come out. Sometimes they look bad, sometimes they don't. I would throw. I wouldn't feel the greatest about Brock Purdy against the Seahawks. For me, he wouldn't be a QB1 up. He doesn't have QB1 upside. I feel better with him as a QB2 this week. I'm not saying for the overall season, but this week for sure. Justin Fields is probably my number one QB upside guy that I really like. You feel me?
Mhm.
Patrick Mahomes did what he did. Shout out to him against the Chargers game. Even though I think he was just trying to scrape what he can out of that one. But Justin Fields, I love him. If you have him in, I feel like if you have him on your team, feel good starting him. Some other guys that I feel like could be locks is like Jordan Love, Justin Herbert. Actually, might just ascend it up for me for the season. For where, and I'm always people like to shit on Justin Herbert for whatever reason. I don't know, but I personally love me. Wait, hold on. Crispy said he came up with an illness this morning. Who? Let us know, Chris. I need to know who.
Kyler flu game,
Oh, are you being serious? Kyler's sick? What the fuck?
bruh. Come on. How you get sick for week one, man? Fucking save
Damn.
that shit,
No, like how we I'm looking at some others these other matchups. You got Tua against the Colts, Bryce Young against the Jaguars, JJ McCarthy against the Bears, Caleb Williams against the Vikings, CJ Stroud against the Rams. Out of those guys I just mentioned, my G, who are you least hyped about to see in week one?
Rip, say that again. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I was texting. I
no, you
was
good.
messaging in the chat with Crispy. Say that one more time.
Yeah. So out of these quarterbacks, right, who you feel least good about on week one? You got Tua against Colts, Young against the Jaguars, JJ McCarthy against the Bears, Caleb Williams against the Vikings, CJ Stroud versus the Rams, and then Jordan Love against the Lions. How are you feeling about those?
I like Jordan Love against the Lions because I feel like that has shootout potential. So I want to get parts of that team, especially with them signing JMO this morning. It kind of shows that team is kind of investing in the offense, and
Mhm.
I mean, they must see something they really love about JMO. And JMO has shown flashes last year with 1,000 yards. I think he led the league in deep catches. But as far as the guys that I don't trust Caleb Williams. I mean, just in the
Stop doing
fact, no. It's not shit on Caleb Williams Day. But what it is the Vikings have a very complex defense, led by Brian Flores that confuses even veterans.
Mhm.
So I think that's going to be a tough matchup for him. And I mean, if he can solve that defense in game one, him and Coach Ben Johnson, then I think that that is going to be good signal that he's going to have a really good year because the Vikings are no slouch on defense. They have a lot of good players and they run a very complex defense that, like I said, it's hard for even veterans to kind of win against and decipher. Um, there was one other guy who I don't feel comfortable with. That you what's the last guy you mentioned? I'm sorry, I'm
Yeah, no
off
good.
my game.
It was you said Jordan Love that you're liking. You got Tua
Mhm.
against the Colts, Bryce Young against the Jaguars, JJ McCarthy against the Bears, and then CJ Stroud against the Rams.
I'm a little worried about CJ Stroud against the Rams because their offensive line is still patchwork. They traded away their best offensive lineman in the offseason. And I mean, that defensive line for the Rams led by Jared Verse. I mean, they can make life difficult for him. And he's got Nico Collins, but he's relying on a lot of rookies in other spots. So that makes me nervous. I still like CJ Stroud for 2025, but I think that can be a rough week one. And it may be a buying opportunity if he kind of face plants that first game because people are going to start to want to be out after last year's letdown.
I can get G with that, and I'm rocking with you today, Rocco. No pun intended. Now, let's look at these running backs, and because our boy Crispy pointed out one thing that people were like going ahead of like, oh, the coach was talking this and that about Chris Rodriguez. He's hyping him up.
I like Chris Rodriguez, but it's not a good sign for him.
He's a healthy scratch, which means Billy, rocket to the moon. It's up. It's up, baby. If you have them, I'm no. Actually, and we were talking about this a little bit before we came on live, where it is Ollie Gordon versus JCM. Rocco, talk about this real quick for us, man. How you feeling about this going for week one? Who you feel more confident about with now with Chris Rodriguez being a healthy scratch?
Man, when everybody started massing up and talk about we're trading seconds for BCM, JCM, whatever he wants to be called at this time. I was kind of fading it a little bit because he's a lowly drafted rookie. I mean, was he even drafted? I mean, he may even be undrafted for all I know, but
He was like
he
a seventh
definitely
one.
wasn't. Yeah, I mean, he was a very very late round pick. Um, but I mean, look what the team is telling you how they feel about JCM. I mean, they let go of Brian Robinson. They just fucking kicked him right on his face, right out the door. Very. I mean, he's not a world beater, but he's a good professional running back. They kicked him right on his ass, and they continued the signal with Chris Rodriguez,
Hmm.
who's also he's a good professional back. I mean, he puts up good numbers when given opportunities, but he's not even playing today. So, I mean, they're going in today, from what I know, with Austin Eckler and BCM. So, and Austin Eckler's not a three down back. So, you know, I see big signal that at the very worst, Krosky Merritt is going to be the first and second down back.
Hmm.
He could be the goal line back, but he's going to have a big role in the very first week. So, yeah, I'm probably. I like Gordon too, and I got both in a lot of leagues. So I'm just kind of playing it down the middle for week one, and I'm just kind of, starting Bill and some and starting Ollie Gordon and some. I know that's not a real answer, but that's just how I'm playing it for week one until I see them in real NFL game action. Because we're talking about two rookies, so
Yes.
both of them carry risk, to confidently start. But in my second, third flex, that's a decision that I had to make this morning. That's kind of I just straddled the line on that one.
And looking at the running back landscape for week one, who would you consider as smash starts? Honestly, I feel like you can always go with the first three guys or first top three guys, right? With Saquon against Dallas. Well, actually, yeah, well, that was a smash start, but Saquon didn't do shit. Shout out to that. If he had he had a one touchdown,
Saquon, Saquon, that's a little something.
he had. I mean, if he
What, he had like 20 points?
on the ground wise, he didn't really. He had like 3 yards per carry. He had a touchdown, and it was his uses in the receiving game that gave him his points for the most part, where he got catches.
Uh, that's where running backs win at. I'd rather them be receiving than getting ground up the middle.
I think Bijan Robinson is a smash start for me always. He's going against the Tampa Bay Bucks. Christian McCaffrey, I feel like yes, I lean both ways. He is a smash start, but I am wary of his usage throughout the game, and I hope he can sustain that throughout the season. Derrick Henry against Buffalo, Jameer Gibbs against the Packers. Jonathan Taylor, that's our guy that we've talked about, could potentially be a 2,000 yarder this year, candidate this year against the Miami Dolphins. And then you got Devin Etienne against the Colts. How do you feel about those group of guys that I just mentioned?
I mean, I start all my studs, so until proven differently, there's not many teams, outside of those I hate to say it again, Mickey Mouse 10 team ass fucking leagues where you have even that choice to make. So, I mean, you could do something crazy like start your Ollie Gordon or BCM over those guys, but that's a losing strategy. And more often than not, you'll be pissed off at yourself if you do that. Um, so yeah, I'm starting all those guys. I mean, I feel good about all of those guys. Most of those guys are gonna be guaranteed the touches, and if they get boxed up in the run game, they'll contribute in the pass game, like Saquon Barkley did on his way to 18 points. You know, they won't kill you, but if you take a chance with a rookie, they could fuck you. They could fuck you up with a fucking zero. So yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it could fuck you up pretty bad and cost you your week. So just don't do that. Start your studs. I'm more interested in like some of these
okay.
secondary and tertiary guys.
And that was going to be my next question for you because I was about to hit you with them. So, guys that I feel like have upside to be RB1s of this week, but I would say more of a RB2 currently right now. Kenneth Walker against the 49ers, James Cook. Omarion Hampton didn't do. I'm not out on Omarion Hampton, but and some people probably put too much load on him or expected too much out of him week one. He is a rookie, y'all.
Yeah, don't put too much load on them.
Did someone say fucking? We got player profile, and I think that's for our boy
What?
Dynasty Degens in this motherfucker. Let's get this money up.
What up?
What up, G?
Fucking
What's talking with the OG? Now,
fuck
yeah,
yeah.
we got Breece Hall against the Steelers, TreVeyon Henderson against the Raiders, and Tony Pollard against Denver. Aaron Jones against Chicago. Tony Pollard, out of those guys I just mentioned, is I think the most disrespected out of those. Yes, TreVeyon Henderson is going to do what I think TreVeyon Henderson is going to do what it do, and then but Tony Pollard is where I would feel good about having him in my lineup, especially against I want to say especially against Denver because their passing offense they're going to have to need to run the ball because their passing offense is like that. But Tony Pollard, if you have him, I feel good for him as a workhorse. Aaron Jones, I'm not too sure. I have to once again. It's almost like with the Pittsburgh Steelers situation. I got to see what the split is going to look like between him and Jordan Mason, and then what Crispy talked about. Harbaugh did seem happy with Hampton. I don't think he played bad. They really didn't get much push in the trenches against the in that game. So I'm not out on Amari Hampton. I think he'll progress as time goes. Who I'm really looking at, Rocco, and you can tell me if I'm wrong on this one. Tyrone Tracy, our guy going back to the 2024 season against the Washington Commanders. I think he will have an underrated day, unless you think your boy Cam Scatterbo will take some thunder away from him.
I mean, he will eventually, but we'll give the veteran the nod in week one. But yeah, Scotabo is coming for that job sooner than later. Um, yeah, I guess if you have Tracy's and you need to start him. I'm not super confident either way in him. Just kind of in a wait and see. But if you got him and you haven't traded him away for seconds like I did, then I guess he's a good start. He's not the worst.
Are you, when it comes to RJ Harvey, are you starting RJ Harvey? Or are you sitting RJ Harvey?
I'm gonna try. I feel like I'm gonna try to fucking sit him honestly because I'm a little worried about his week one role. I mean, we saw it in the preseason. He had some nice runs, but he was bouncing everything. So if he's not if he's not the pass down back, I mean, we could actually see J.K. Dobbins, get most of the workload in week one. So if I have other options, I'm gonna try to sit Harvey week one and just kind of see what happens, see what his role is, and if Harvey is heavily involved, fuck it, he's going in week two. But if I have somebody that I can slide in there, if I have like a Tony Pollard, fuck yeah, I'm starting Tony Pollard over RJ Harvey all day.
Our boy Nerd said, oh, hold on, let me throw this comment up. Dobbins is he's in. He thinks Dobbins is in for a big game this week, and then rookie running backs in week one, or the rookie running back in week one, he's down on. And I would also ask in that regard, because that was going to be my next question on this next round of guys or running backs we talk about. You got Austin Eckler, and these are more flex spots that, and whether you can either agree or disagree whether you are starting or sitting these guys. But Jerome Ford, starter sit.
I mean, if you have Ford, this is the reason why you're start. This is the reason why you have him is to start him right now. While Judkins, who just got signed, is getting onboarded. He had no off season. He hasn't been with the team, and people are out of their fucking mind if they think that he's going to have a significant role early on in the season. So ride with Ford while he's going to be at least the pass down back, and I would say he's going to get at least 50%, of the first 2 weeks. So if you have Ford, that's why you have him. Put him in.
Start or sit Travis Etienne.
I think I'm starting ETN. I feel like he is the guy that's most likely to have a three down role early in the season. Tootin, I don't think is going to get much love early on. He fumbled in college and he fumbled in the preseason, so I think he's going to be a race car in the garage for a little while.
Mhm.
Bixby will have some first and second down grinding work to do, and ETN's going to basically get everything else. So yeah, I'm confidently starting ETN. I have ETN in a wide receiver heavy build. I have ETN starting as my running back 2 and running back 1 in spots. So I feel great about him.
And shout out to our boy Nerd. He says that he is starting Jerome Ford the first 2 weeks.
Smart man.
He is
He
starting
knows
Jerome Ford.
he knows what the fuck's going on around here.
He is,
There's
and
that word again.
and if you're well, how are we feeling about with relatively recent news of Quinshon Judkins signing his 4-year contract with the team? Is that why we're just saying the first 2 weeks, and then Jerome Ford is going to revert to the
I
offense
mean,
team?
that's the optimistic look. I mean, it could take up to 4 weeks for him to get on board. He had no offseason with the team, so he has to learn the playbook. He has to learn the plays. The coaches need to feel comfortable putting him in the lineup. And even then, will he be the undisputed RB1? I mean, Sampson and Ford have been there. Ford's been there for a few years now. So I think Judkins is going to have to earn whatever love he gets, whatever share of touches he gets.
Start or sit Caleb Johnson.
Yeah, that's a tough one. The signal is bad. I mean, we saw that he was RB3. What was that? Our lads, and our guy, fucking
Arthur
Art
Smith,
Smith, that fucking dickhead he is.
asshole.
It's hard to trust in him. Um, So if you have somebody else you can play, I would lean that direction. But
Mm,
some people drafted him in the first round to play him. So um, I saw some stuff in the Discord earlier. They were asking if I should play Mason Taylor over Caleb Johnson. At that point, I think I got to go Caleb Johnson if those are the options, because I think at the end of the day, Caleb Johnson is a perfect fit for the offense that Art Smith wants to run, the stretch zone, and he's the guy that profiles as the goal line back. So, um, I'm not sure if they want Warren in there on goal line plays. So I think he's gonna, at the very least, have a goal line role there,
mm.
and he's going to get some touches, and if he impresses, he's going to get more touches. So over a Mason Taylor, who I'm sorry, I'm just not a fan of. It's all day every time, especially on a Sunday, we're going to put in Caleb Johnson.
And as we get in, we're 40 minutes deep in, and we only got about deep in, anyways. And we only got about 15, 16, 17 more minutes left before kickoff. Let's talk about some receivers.
Got to check my lineup, make sure I
Like,
know we don't have any last minute
like,
shit.
like looking at these receivers, Drake London goes against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers today. Are we looking for him to take that next step? Could Drake London give us a top 5 performance in week 1?
Yeah, I mean, he can give us fucking top fucking three performance all year. I mean, he's fucking Drake London, and he has nobody he's competing with. I mean, who he's gonna fucking compete with? Fucking Mooney has got a busted shoulder. He's not playing. Nick Nash, is he even on the active day roster? I think he didn't even make it through cuts.
He's
A
on
guy
practice
we
squad.
liked, a
Mhm.
guy we liked, coming in, through the process, but undrafted guy, so he's not doing anything. I mean, who are they counting on? I mean, the
Darnell
the
Mooney's out.
carcass of the carcass, yeah, we're talking about that. The carcass of Kyle Pitts. I mean, somebody gonna have to catch that rock, and the only guy there is London. So I mean, London. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if he gets 12 targets today.
And let's talk about guys that I feel like have upside in week 1. Not the smash one, because we could easily talk about Jamar Chase. We could easily talk about Justin Jefferson, Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas, those guys of nature, right? Because those guys that you're always going to have in your starting lineup. Even these guys that I'm going to mention, you would have in your starting lineup. But Garrett Wilson and Tyreek Hill, specifically Tyreek Hill, how confident are you feeling about him in week 1? I feel like you can't sit him because that's stupid, right? If Tua is starting and he's been cleared of injury destination, how do you feel about Tyreek Hill week 1?
Um, Lucky for me, I don't have that problem because I've gotten rid of all of my Tyreek Hill. I know
Uh,
some people. I know there's some bag holders out there, and sorry for you guys. You'll be disappointed. But I mean, yeah. I mean, you gotta smoke him if you got him. If you got him on your team, he's got to start. I mean, in theory, he's a stud. So I mean, who are you gonna start over him? Like, what's the options? I mean, if he's playing, you got to start him and hope for the best.
do you feel more confident about Garrett Wilson or Tyreek Hill?
Come on, man.
All right, I feel like, come on,
You
dog, don't do that.
serious? You
Yeah, I feel like
serious? That's
hey, there's some people who just because of Garrett Wilson is tied to Justin Fields, they don't feel good about Garrett Wilson. But it
I
goes
don't
to the
give a.
point. It goes to
He's
the
the
same.
only guy.
Yeah, he goes to the same point of the Falcons. Who the fuck are they? Who's the second guy? Who's going to be the third guy? We know who the number one is. So target should go to that guy, 100% of the time.
Yeah, I mean, if you're giving me 10 plus touches, I don't give a fuck who it is.
And looking at some more guys, right? I feel good about Tetairoa McMillan with, with the Panthers. I feel good about Cortland Sutton against the Titans. Amika Buka is going to be who I'm actually watching against the Atlanta Falcons. I want to see how he gels with Baker in a real NFL regular season game. I want to see how that passing offense looks with certain guys out. Does Amika look like he is just another guy on the field, or does he stand out? I think he's going to stand out this week. Someone who I'm not like, I feel like you have to start them unless you have better options, but I wouldn't be upset if you did sit them. Zay Flowers would be one of those guys for me if you did sat them if you had better options. DJ Moore would probably be up there for me too, maybe potentially. But as I feel like if you have them, you basically if you have better options, go ahead and start them. But if you don't, he should be in your starting lineup.
Hmm.
Then you have other guys. DK against the Jets, you would hope, but I'm not in on Aaron Rodgers or that overall offense.
But
So
DK is gonna get the. I mean, DK could get the Sauce Gardner treatment. So, and he's another one of those guys. That's the only guy. So pick your poison. He's be in line to get a lot of targets, but also it's an Arthur Smith. It's an Arthur Smith.
mhm,
So, I mean, he could just throw Darnell Washington and say "fuck y'all."
yeah, that might piss off a lot of fantasy owners. Travis Hunter, out of the news of yesterday, the head coach came out and says that he's going to be a full-time every down wide receiver in a situational cornerback, which we absolutely wanted to hear for fantasy football purposes. Is Travis Hunter a start for you?
I have him in one league, and I'm starting him. Um, so yeah, I mean they've said that he's going to be this a starting wide receiver. And it looks like a starting wide receiver and two wide receiver sets. So yeah. Let me see what he's got out there, man. I'm fucking starting him for the fuck of it, and it should be fun. Should be exciting. And if it's not, we'll reassess next week. But you know, I feel like it's more sexy having him in the lineup. So we're gonna do that. Get him in there.
And last two questions, just because of recent news against Amari Cooper, who signed with the Las Vegas Raiders, then ultimately decided to say, "Fuck that, I'm retiring. I can't do this shit." Is Jacoby Myers a rocket for you? Is he skyrocketing for you? Is he somebody that you feel good about having in your flex spot? Oh, we have a question, Rocco, from BBA.
What's up, BBA? What's that stand for?
Hey y'all, QB start one help please. Lawrence versus Panthers, Goff versus Packers, May versus Raiders. And May, he's noted that it is going to be raining in that game. I'll let you go first with that, Rocco.
I like golf versus the Packers. Is that game in Green Bay or is it in Detroit? Can you look that up for me real quick?
I got you. I got
Excuse me.
you. There's today. It is at. It's in Green Bay.
Okay. I feel better about it if it was in Detroit just because of the fast dome track. Um, but I feel like that game has some shootout potential. And I mean the Lions are a fast break offense.
They are.
I feel like I don't know if I like the game flow of the Panthers and Jaguars game. Um, just because I feel like they're going to try to that feels to me like a slower pace game, and May versus the Raiders. May could fucking kill it today. Like no shit. That I'm very interested to see what May does today, but it's also, he's also still a second year player. Like you said, it's going to be raining, and he's going to be going up against. He's going to be going up against Max Crosby, so that worries me
And
a
Michael
little bit.
Parsons. Oh no, not Michael Parsons. That's a different team.
Micah Parsons, yeah, Goff got to watch out for Micah Parsons because
Mm.
he's on the Packers
Mhm.
now, but he's also got a busted back, so we're not sure how ready he's going to be to just dominate. Um, for me, it's between Goff and May. I would lean Goff just because he's been really awesome for the last few years, and he's got a shit ton of fucking awesome weapons surrounding him. So I think and I think that game has shootout potential. So that's the way I'd lean. But you got good options, so that's you did a good job getting those good options in there.
And for me, it was I would lean between Lawrence just because I do like Lawrence. I think with Travis Hunter and Brian Thomas needed a Robin to him. I mean, we just got to see how that overall offense goes. With May and the Raiders, both are two offenses that we're still have questions about. We want to see how they do in week one. So it could very well be a shootout. Or it could be very well be a snore fest and nobody does shit. So I think you have both. You can have both of both worlds or both outcomes of that game are very much possible. For me, I would lean towards Lawrence against the Panthers, but I do like what Rocco said about May. I think Stephon Diggs is very much underrated. I think he's going to be a very great asset for them, and he's going to show why he was brought in to be their wide receiver one. So either May or Lawrence for me. And then with golf, it just honestly, I think with the Packers defense is going to be better. They already have Xavier McKinney, and then you throw in Michael Parsons. Yes, he does have a little, banged up bat, but he was still looking pretty quick. And then you got the other guys on that defense. So It really depends on how you either, and also I guess it also depends on the league settings too. Is it a 4 point passing league? Is it a 6 point passing league? Which one of these guys gives you more rushing ability? That might be Drake May out of these three because I think he's more likely to run that thing. You feel me? So yeah, either if you have, it seems like you have three. All those guys are on your squad. All of those guys are. I feel like for the season wise, you're pretty set. So shout out to you for setting up your QB room like that. And looking at some other wide receivers, you got Debo, Matthew Golden is somebody I'm keeping an eye on just to see how he does in Week 1. I know you don't like Jerry Judy, but he is going against the
Big
Cincinnati Bengals.
big booty Judy.
Booty Judy, but he going against the Bengals though. So I feel like that's a good matchup. How you feel about Judy Week 1 against the Bengals
I
and
don't
with,
feel
and, with,
about
and Joe Flacco?
I don't feel about him at all. I try not to have any thoughts about Jerry Judy. I'm thinking about how is Tillman gonna break out like he was last season before he got busted up and killing with also with Jameis Winston. Um, but I think Judy could be serviceable. I think he could be a wide receiver 2/3 for you. So I mean, if you got him, start him. But look for those selling opportunities because if he starts out hot out the gate against the Bengals, fucking ship his ass out before he turns into a pumpkin.
And we have 5 minutes before the 1 p.m. kickoffs will start going off. Let's go through these tight ends very, 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 very quickly. And because I honestly feel like we can always talk about Brock Bowers, smash, Trey McBride, smash, George Kittle, smash. Evan Ingram is a very much a start for me. If you have him in his lineup, they're going against the Tennessee Titans. Throw his ass up in there. Guys that have upside, TJ Hawkinson, Tyler Warren against the Miami Dolphins. It should be very much on your radar. We have been talking about Tucker Craft all off season and how we feel about him. Some people would throw Kyle Pitts in that tight end Week 1 upside. I gotta wait and see before I say anything about him as an upside tight end. But lower level guys. Some people, I'm sitting Jonnu Smith. I'm sitting Dalton Kincaid. I'm sitting Isaiah Likely, even though it seems like he's working his way back. I don't think he's there yet. I'm definitely going to sit. Kate Otten is actually out, so you can't have him in your lineup. So that's somebody to pinpoint. And Crispy actually spoke on it earlier. Payne Dorham, if he is on your waivers, go pick him up right now. If you need a tight end, because Pope and Otten have been ruled out. Go pick up Payne Dorham right now if you need a tight end.
Don't play him, or there might be some pain you
Yeah,
feel.
you might be some pain in your line.
You might feel some. You might feel some really bad pain. But if you want to pick him up to see what happens, and if he has a good game, flip his ass.
Would you agree to sit Dalton Schultz?
Yeah. I usually don't think very much of Dalton Schultz. So yeah, I mean, if you're relying on Dalton Schultz at this time, you might want to think about rebuilding.
Sit Hunter Henry.
Hunter Henry is sneaky. I feel like his career ended like years ago, but he still cranks out those top 12 seasons. So he's like a bottom of the barrel bargain basement tight end. So you could do worse than starting him. So I don't feel bad about starting him.
Then you have Colston Loveland, starter sit.
Colston Loveland, man, I was kind of off from him, but I've been hearing a lot out of that team. I still worry about how the targets are going to shake out there. So if I'm able to, I would like to take a week and kind of see who, see how that target tree kind of shakes out. But it's tight end. So if you don't have anybody else, you can put him in. But I'd like to take a week and just kind of see how that thing shakes out over there.
And then if you had to say a tight end that is looking like they're going to let people down Week 1, Who would that be for you this today?
Mm, that is a good
I think it
question.
could be. I think it could be Kyle Pitts.
You know who I worry about. I think if you're still starting Kyle Pitts, you're fucking nuts. He has definitely been on the wait and see list for like 2 years now. But I got one for you who I'm a little nervous about,
Mhm.
and who could be outscored by the tight end on the other side in the very same game is Sam Laporta. He's a guy
Ooh.
that was steamed up almost to, I think, tight end one in his rookie year, and last year he had a bit of a letdown as JMO came on the scene and got his 1,000 yards. He had some moments, but it wasn't the same type of year that he had year one, and I think he can fall off even a little bit more because you still have Amon-Ra St. Brown who's going to command targets. They just gave JMO damn near $30 million a year, and they didn't give it to him to run wind sprints. They gave it to him to be awesome. So when you put those two guys into effect, you got Tesla, who looked really good in the preseason, who's the starting wide receiver three, and you still got two awesome running backs.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of feels like, and our guy Ben McCown, who's an awesome PT. If you need any injury news, go seek him out. But he is also a Lions fan, and he feels like Laporta may be the odd man out because there's only so much pie to go around. Unless Jared Goff throws for 6,000 yards, everybody ain't eating, and Laporta is the guy I'm worried about in that room.
And once again, we have 1 minute before 1 p.m.
Oh man, hopefully no fucked up shit happened and I can't switch it out.
This is just a reminder.
That's why we got to be the Breakfast Club coming
Yeah,
up.
that's exactly what I was going to say. A
Motherfucking
reminder
Breakfast Club.
that we are looking to move, or we are going to be going earlier next week. Whether it's going to be announced throughout the week. It might be 9 a.m. Eastern, or it might be 10 a.m. Eastern. It potentially might be 9. I like that spot as a Breakfast Club spot. So this is just a reminder. Double check your lineups. Make sure all your players are active, and remember, don't overthink it, man. Start them lineups. Sit them guys. It's time to go the journey to a championship, my boy, my G. Thank you, everybody.
Boy.
It is 1 p.m. You already know what it is. We're your fantasy playbook to more championship wins. And Rocco, who are the
We're a fantasy football podcast for Dynasty Sickos by Dynasty Sickos. Prepare to be disappointed, my Saints. Starting kicking off right now.
Let's get it. Best wishes to everybody. Unless I'm going against you this week, fuck you. I'm gonna whoop your ass. Shout out to everybody. The fantasy football season is now under the way. Let's get it. This is Fourth and Fantasy. We love y'all. Later.